All right, welcome back from that break. Many thanks for joining us again on the Big Story on Quest Television. This time we are here to discuss with the Commissioner of Delta State on rural roads and public information, and of Charles ANIAGWU, who we are discussing about things that affect Deltans, and of course the plans, projects, and of course the vision of the Governor of Delta State, and Sheriff Oborevwori, to the people of Delta State. Now, once again, we welcome you back, sir, as we continue with this conversation. Now, let's move from the other angle now. We'll take you back to security of Delta State. Recently, I think about a week or so, we had a consultant, the head of consultants, who came and they said they partner with the Delta State government to eradicate insecurity within Delta State. They talked particularly about surveillance cameras and a whole lot of things. Now, to build on this and more, what are the plans, or what have the government done, or maybe the vision for insecurity in Delta State?
I'm happy you're asking this question, but I know that you're not asking me to tell you everything we're doing to cover insecurity. Because you know I won't tell you.
Yeah.
Because of also their security implication.
Yeah, their class.
But I know that they are the ones you have seen. You know, it's about the hardware and the software. I will tell you about the hardware. You see us providing vehicles for the security agencies to be able to carry out their duties. See us providing walkie-talkies, some electronic devices, communication equipments for them to be able to interact easily and be able to, for instance, if a criminal crosses here and is able to beat these persons, they should be able to tell the man in front, look, be ready, this person is coming while we're chasing behind. And so all those things we are doing. And over 60 vehicles have been given out to different security agencies. But not long ago, you recall when we gave out 31 Helos vehicles to the Operation Sweep to be able to, and it was commissioned by the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betukun. And we're doing that, believing that such logistics will go a long way in assisting the security agencies to be able to carry out their responsibilities. And like I said, some of the other things that we're doing to aid intelligence gathering are not things I need to spell out. Because once you do, you would have given the criminal your plans, and it will now become a case of the bird learning how to fly without perching on account of the hunter learning how to shoot without missing. So you must be able to do it in such a way that the criminal is not ahead of you. So, but we're also worried about certain levels of insecurity, particularly the issue of kidnapping and then sporadic shooting of people, and then making it difficult for our farmers to have access to their farms. It has become a national malaise, and but in Delta here, we are doing so much to tackle it. That's why you just hear of some form of occasional attacks on such things. But working with the security agencies in the state, we are seeing what we could do to possibly mitigate it and bring it down to the barest minimum. Obviously, sometimes it might not be easy that we are going to eradicate it 100%, but at least once you're able to bring it down, because insecurity is as old as human society. So our effort is to bring it down drastically so that people are very free to move around and do business anywhere they find themselves in their town. And to a very large extent, a whole lot of progress is being made in that direction. So little wonder our capital territory is growing so fast. I'm sure you really have the challenges of house rent and all those ones. Somebody was asking the other day, says like the house rents had a meeting and then reached a consensus as to an upward review of their rent. I say no. The only consensus they had is that many people have come in and the forces of demand and supply have set in, where you have demand growing at astronomical rate and then some form of arithmetic progression of supply. So such geometric influence of demand has come to play to trigger a hyper rise in the prices of houses by way of increment in rents. But if there were no people coming in, that will not happen, because you would have had more than enough houses than those who desire to rent. And the question is, why are the people coming in? is because they are also find Asaba and the Capital Territory more like a safe haven for them to do their businesses. And so that is why you are seeing a whole lot of influx of people into our state. But our desire is to make sure that such peace that exists in the capital cascades to other local areas, so that at the end of the day, we'll have an even development of the 25 local government areas.
Okay. Now, there is this saying that there are two sides of the coin every time. In every situation, you have two sides.
Coin has moved beyond two sides. There's also the ring.
But there are two sides to every story. Now, let's look at some of the challenges that this current administration is having. Or maybe if we can narrow that down to your office as the Commissioner for Rural Rails and Public Information. What are these challenges you encountered, or you think maybe the governor is encountering?
The challenge you have is the same thing that you have in a number of places, which are very well known to people. There are two major challenges, but one is the issue of the uncertainties around our price mechanism across the country. You see that, number one, today you are planning with 5,000 naira for an item, and before you take it from the point of initiation to the point of approval, and then back to the point where you need to procure. In just a period of just less than 1 month, you see that there is a spiral in the cost of such item, thereby rendering whatever decision you may have taken on account of the old pricing nugatory. And so when that happens, and you see that your action is already vitiated by the vicissitudes of life, you now begin to think, what do you do if I award a contract to you this month for 10 naira, and you are supposed to make 2 naira profit, and then by next month, you discover that if you do that job will now be 12 naira. If you proceed to do that job, not only that you are not going to make your 2 naira profit, you are even going to still even lose another 2 naira for the job. You see yourself stopping until government is able to do adjustment. So that is a very big challenge, but we are navigating through that murky water of fluctuations that our currency have had to suffer on account of the trend policy of naira, floating of the naira, and then of course the removal of fuel subsidy. That's one. Now, the second one is some form of a prolonged mentality, what you may call entitlement mentality on the part of a number of persons, particularly those of us who find ourselves in the position of authority, where individuals believe that what we are paying them as appointees is nowhere commensurate to their expenditure pattern. And then you see some persons wanting to also cut corners and then undermine the processes of governance. That happens. You recall a while ago I talked about the danger of those who come into politics and want to help themselves with public funds. So that is also a challenge which you are dealing with, to be sure that at the end of the day, you have people who are working with you, largely men of proven integrity, who will not want to just help themselves with public funds, but are able to contribute meaningfully to the development of the state. Those challenges, we are dealing with them, we are conquering them. And then you have that of communities making demand and expecting that tomorrow, you must be able to meet up with such demands, not knowing that you have plethora of demands at your desk and that you need to clear. So those are some of the issues. But on the whole, because of the approach of His Excellency Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Oborevwori, we've been able to navigate through some of those challenging times, because his prudent approach to management has also sort of brought down the appetite of a number of persons who want to just look at it and say it's government money. Oborevwori sees it as personal money. You know, when it's personal, you protect. When it's government, it looks as if nobody owns it, then you may care less. But he treats it as if it's personal. For him to approve any money for you, you must be able to justify very, very confidently the costs and the reason why such money should be paid. So we are navigating through here and we're making progress.
Okay. Now, just to be clear, I think we just need to have this right now. There is this rumor, and so let's say on the legends, actually, we are the media, and sometimes we listen a whole lot more. And thank God you are here.
Listen to gossip?
No, not gossip per se.
Side talk.
No, side talk per se. We could say legends, and some people will pledge anonymity, and so we might not be too direct like that. But let me bring this now. Some people say that the execution of this project, some would say that they were a bit biased in terms of selection about which road to be situated and where it should not be. And so, because we're here directly with the Commissioner of Rural Affairs, so it's better for us to have a direct and very, very straightforward clarification. So, what do this make say to this?
I know you haven't. We have heard some of those things, so I won't come here and play the ostrich and pretend as if we've not heard some of those things. I have responded by saying that people are very free to play politics. But for us, it's about governance. It's about governance.
Okay.
And we will continue to respond by providing those things that we have made promises that we're going to provide. Infrastructure, human capital development, and enhanced peace and security. That we are doing, I will not lose sight of it on account of some of these unfounded positions. I don't want to call them allegations. Now, I do know that Quest TV and FM, where you work, have a station in Ughelli, along the Patani Expressway. So, to a very large extent, the people in the southern flank and the central flank benefits from the signals of the station on that corridor. I'm also very clear in my understanding that you also have another station here in the capital territory, specifically in Ubulu. And the last time I checked, that's also Delta North.
Yeah.
Now, that being the case, it gives you a certain level of advantage position to know where somebody is working or where somebody is not working. Because once in a while, you may have some form of interaction, physical interaction, not virtual, with your office in Ughelli, either by way of visit or one thing or the other takes you there. As we were coming to my office this morning, I'm sure you passed through the Anwai Ubulu Ela Road. I'm sure that, I don't know how long you have worked with Quest FM, but I'm sure that it was not the same way it was when you started passing it some 2 years ago.
Okay.
And today, there are still ongoing efforts to take that road straight to Ubulu so that from there you can easily go to Akukwibo. That effort I'm talking when I say ongoing is already at the point of procurement because the governor has already approved it. Secondly, I speak from position of authority because I'm also at the center of implementation of some of the decisions. We're also opening up some corridor within the Ubulu height where we are going to construct some roads, thereby opening up that axis. You may want to call it the new Asaba.
Okay.
That is in Delta North. The last time I checked, except it has been geographically relocated. Now, if you are traveling to Ubulu where you have your other stations, I'm using this one because I want to talk to what you relate to. And you are passing through the Koka or Washuku Ughelli dual carriage. I am seeing that you have seen a whole lot of renewed effort at completing that particular corridor up to Ughelli, specifically Otorodo Junction. That road is the only road that connects the three senatorial districts, North, South, and Central. Might interest you to know that Isoko South and Isoko North are on that corridor, and that is in the southern flank. Might also interest you to know that Oshimile South, Oshimile North, Anyota South, and Ndokwa West are also on that corridor. That's Delta North. Now Ughelli North is also on that corridor. Now you recall that too in the course of the 2024 budget, we were clear on the provisions per local government. And that was implemented. So the governor's approach is giving vent to that O in his M.O.R.E agenda, which speaks to opportunities for all. And so if anybody thinks that Oborevwori is a man who is sentimental, just tell the person to just look at the things Oborevwori is doing and ask him what does he want Oborevwori to do more.
Okay.
And I'm sure you know I am from Delta North. I'm not from Central. I'm not one of the Oborevworis. And today, by the grace of God, and through the privilege extended to me by Governor Oborevwori, who is from Central, who do not in any way, to the best of my knowledge, share any form of ancestral lineage with the ANIAGWUs. Yet, knowing that I'm from Delta North, he gave me the privilege to run 2 ministries. Wow. Can love be more than that? I just needed to mention it so that you'll be able to understand the kind of human being that he is.
Okay.
Perhaps if we were to be one of the Oborevworis, they will say, Sam, My brother, and I make and say me he carry 2 ministries. This man self. Now they did not say, this man, the man good though. They don't see him like that. So my brother, make you look and I get as it be when people talk waiting on they happen. So that's what it be. The man is quite passionate and convinced that there is need to be governor for all.
Okay.
And to the best of my knowledge, his policies have shown that he's governor for all.
All right.
Perhaps when we are done with tomorrow's ESCO, you will also be the one singing that indeed this is governor for all.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much on that now. So let's try to move forward to the other aspect as well. We know that after politics comes governance, actually, but of course, the politics brought the foundation to which governance later came in. Now, to move forward now, we had recently also the former Vice Senate President talking about Oborevwori,
the deputy president of the Senate.
Yes, former. Exactly, the former, yeah. Then currently also we had these allegations also coming from the former, recently the defected lawmaker from the, there is a senator of Delta North, talking about Senator M.O.R.E, who actually made some glaring statements actually. He said that he would not be willing to work with Governor Sheriff Oborevwori, even if Oborevwori defects to the APC. In fact, quoting him directly, he says that he came out with a statement that Governor Sheriff Oborevwori is not in the match that he become governor by default. He said the governor became governor by default, actually, that he was not going to work with. And then some of the things that were coming out, recent defections from the PDP, and M.O.R.E alleged that over 17 lawmakers were willing or even are in the process of defecting from PDP to the APC. What is your reflection on this?
Let me start from Senator M.O.R.E. I don't know what will now become the opposite of default, and that he's talking about default setting and all that kind of thing. So I don't know what that means. All I know is that Oborevwori was massively elected by Deltans in 2023. He won very resoundingly in 21 out of the 24 local government areas. And so that's what I know. What issue of default means, I don't know. And also the last time I checked, M.O.R.E was not on that ballot. So that you say that maybe he planned to contest and this other person did not plan to contest. A man contested primary of his political party, he won. Contested the main election, he won. They would drag him to court, 38 different court cases, he won. And you are saying the man just became governor by default. If you talk about this, except maybe he needs to consult his dictionary. Except maybe if I'm sitting here now and something happened and they say, okay, I become deputy governor by appointment without election. And then 2 days after, something happened again and I become governor. Then you can say it's by default that I did not plan it and I was appointed and all of a sudden. But not a man who prepared, a man who was a speaker for more than 6 years and did very well as a speaker is becoming a governor by default. So that cannot be true. I think he needs to be a little busy with his legislative responsibilities so that idleness does not lead more room to some form of generation into devil's workshop. Now, on the issue of our brother, Senator Oborevwori, the immediate past deputy president of the Nigerian Senate, they are very free to play politics. We have said that they will play politics, but we will respond to them with governance, and that's what we're doing. So if he's playing politics and say, I'm sure you also saw them in 2023, 2022. They play worse politics than this. But then we told them Okowa will respond, and then the Okowa's response will yield dividends. That dividend is the fact that Oborevwori, with his grassroots appeal, won the election. Now Oborevwori is performing, giving the people the dividends of democracy. Deltans are very appreciative. Deltans are not ungrateful people. So in 2027, by the grace of God, they will still show appreciation. Let them first of all go and sort out their own disagreements in their party before they face us. Oborevwori is home and dry, working for the people, and he's going to do more in line with the M.O.R.E agenda.
Okay.
So they are fluid. Then we don't begrudge them that they are playing politics. After all, if they don't play politics, what else would they be doing? They are no longer in government. They are not working for anybody. He's no longer involved in a moving motion or raising his hand to make contribution. The only way you will hear that he's still around is when they say these things. So you should understand. Don't begrudge them when they speak, because they want to be busy. So because their busy nature is to distract us, we are aware that it's paining them that we know what they know, which is to distract us. So that's why we're not joining issues with them. That's all.
No.
In fact, tomorrow if I have go do another road in Urugu where our brother, the senator, comes from, we will do it as part of letting the people know that we are not angry with anybody.
All right.
In actual fact, we have a project that is ongoing there that we want to take a second look and review and complete. The governor has also approved for me to proceed to ESCO with a road that will link up Orogu and the good people of Okwane. So we are not doing that's to tell you that those things coming from them is not disturbing Oborevwori. Oborevwori wants to govern the people. So even if in your community you are saying something that is at variance with reality, the other people in your community, if you don't want development because you are rich, the other people want it, I will give it to them.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, for this time out here for us to talk to you. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, and remember to extend my regards to your chairman and other management staff of Quest FM and radio.
All right. Well,
Quest TV and FM.
All right. Thank you so much. Now, well, viewers, this is much we are going to take on this conversation today. We appreciate you very much for being part of the program, The Big Story. We just spoke to the Commissioner for Rural Road and Public Information, Mr. Charles ANIAGWU, who spoke to us today. Thank you very much. This program returns again in a subsequent time. Thanks for watching. I am Cyrus Mchana.